virus is a non-living organism that infects humans, animals, plants. Basically, they exist almost everywhere on Earth. Are you prepared for the next influenza, measles, or even zombie virus pandemic?
A pandemic is when a new infectious agent crosses into the human population and our immune system has never ever seen it before. So it means we're very susceptible to disease. And what makes a pandemic different to, say, an epidemic is that an epidemic is more a localized outbreak of this disease, whereas a pandemic is when this disease spreads across multiple countries throughout the world.
Viruses have evolved lots of different mechanisms to spread between hosts. The flu or influenza virus has two different modes of spread. The first is by what we call respiratory transmission. And that just basically means if you're sick with the flu and you sneeze, you generate all these little virus particles that then float around in the air and they can go on to infect another person.
The second major route of flu transmission is via what we call contact-dependent transmission. So this can occur if you're sick with the flu and, say, you sneeze into a handkerchief and you get some of that lovely snot on your hands. You then introduce yourself to a new person, you shake their hands, they then have a bit of that virus on their hand and they go to touch their face. And in doing so, they can then become infected with the flu. As a human population, we've experienced a lot of different viral pandemics throughout our history. But perhaps the most striking and really the scariest was the 1918 H1N1 Spanish flu pandemic. So this flu pandemic killed about 50 million people worldwide. That's a huge number of deaths. And in fact, this pandemic killed more people than World War I itself, which was happening at around the same time.
What can you do to survive the next outbreak?
Saving yourself in the case of a viral pandemic will really depend a lot on what the particular virus is. But a lot of the time, you can do simple things to protect yourself from being infected. And this includes things like washing your hands regularly. So if it's a respiratory virus like the flu and you sneeze into a handkerchief, wash your hands so you don't put other people at risk.
Try to think about all the different things you touch every day. Phones, computer keyboards, door handles. Then think of how much you touch your face. Wash your hands often and try to use sanitizing gel after touching common surfaces.
Other ways you can protect yourself are things like make sure if you do feel sick, you stay at home and you don't just push through and go to work or go to school and infect everyone else, because really no one is going to thank you for that. And then the final way, and really the most effective way that you can protect yourself from infection, is if there is a vaccine available, go get vaccinated, because vaccines save lives. And by vaccinating yourself, you're not only trying to keep yourself healthy, but you're also ensuring that you don't spread the virus to other members of the community. And so you're protecting the broader population.
So how do you know all this?
Well, I'm a virologist. That means my job is to study every aspect of viruses, and in particular, understanding how we can better protect ourselves and other people in the population from these deadly viral pandemics.
So remember, to survive in a pandemic situation, you should wash your hands, keep yourself quarantined if sick, and get yourself vaccinated against whatever virus is making people sick.
But one word of warning, if it's a zombie virus, you're in trouble, because we do not have vaccines for zombie viruses. So you better run.